But we just have to understand that when a transformational figure enters the fray, you got to pause and then isolate and compartmentalize and give them the love that they're due. And in this case, it belongs to Caitlin Clark.
There's only one that can do what Caitlin Clark did. Bring all those eyes. For pure basketball purists, there's nobody like her.
Just when we thought Caitlin Clark's record-breaking season was incredible, she made WNBA history once more suddenly. Yes, she just accomplished something that no athlete has ever done in recent memory. This basketball phenomenon, Caitlin Clark, has broken yet another record without ever setting foot on the court. She has won every International Athlete of the Year award, including Times Athlete of the Year, Associated Press Female Athlete of the Year, and more recently, SBJ Business Athlete of the Year. Angel Reese is extremely unhappy and even disputes that Clark is worthy of it.
So it's been hard for me, but adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of just moving on has been something I try to give myself a little bit of grace.
Caitlin Clark is box office. She is a star. If Angel Reese was older, I would have gotten on her about what she just said. Because I would have been like, how naive can you be? But she is young. It's only 22.
However, I've tried to give myself a little more grace by adjusting and simply adopting the attitude of moving on. Caitlin Clark is a box office star. If Angel Reese had been older, I would have criticized her for what she said because I would have thought, how naive can you be? But she is young, she is only 22, and the drama that is currently taking place isn't just about an award anymore, it's a so-called rivalry that has everyone talking. But wait a minute, only one side views this as a rivalry. We watch one superstar for her talent, and let's say she is too busy on TikTok.
Yeah. What is your stance on that?
So my whole thing was when I got drafted, number 7. So I'm cool. The pressure is not even on me because I'm drafted 7, so the pressure shouldn't be up there. So I'm all right, cool. I can just hoop. I'm all right, cool.
It's because you started killing it.
Well, yeah.
And they're oh.
I'm still a rookie. I'm still figuring it out. Trying to figure things out.
The basketball community is about to be rocked by a story that has everything you could ever want in terms of Clark's talent. Reese's amusing antics and Clark's fierce rivalry. In order to understand why Clark's recent haul has everyone talking, let's break it down and see what happens next. You won't want to miss it.
Angel Reese is a wonderful player, but she does not compare to what and who Caitlin Clark is when she's on the basketball floor. Plain and simple.
Okay, let's get into the specifics of Clark's incredible season and the reason she won all of these awards. What she accomplished on the court not only made it a memorable WNBA season, but it also totally changed the definition of a breakout season. You may be wondering how she managed to do that, but don't worry, we're going to explain it all.
Angel Reese spoke to the media. She didn't speak to the media after the game against Caitlin Clark, but a member of the Chicago Sky, the national title winner at LSU, and she talked about where all this attention started with her and Caitlin Clark.
First, in addition to setting records, Clark obliterated them in spectacular fashion. Remember how I said she accomplished something that no other player in WNBA history has ever done? Well, here's the thing, she broke 62 records, not just one, not just two. Can you believe that? It's not just a historic milestone, it's on a whole new level.
My expectation is to be one of the best players in the world one day. I wouldn't expect anything less than that.
This is where the action really starts to pick up. Not only did Clark's incredible performance provide results on the court, but it also contributed significantly to the Indiana Fever securing their first postseason berth in nearly 10 years. Clark changed the course of the team as a whole in addition to delivering on an individual basis.
More history for the Fever rookie!
At this point, continue to be myself, and I think a lot of good will come from that.
Even more astounding is what Clark has accomplished off the court. Her impact has been nothing short of remarkable. Look at this. During her debut season, WNBA clothing sales increased by an astounding 500%. That's not a typo, we're talking about a 6-fold explosion in revenue. Everyone seems to want a piece of the WNBA after Clark waved a magic wand, but it's not just about jerseys and memorabilia. The WNBA is reaching audiences it has never reached before, and Clark's presence has revolutionized the league as a whole. Attendance has increased to an all-time high.
This is a phenomenon. Caitlin Clark is a phenomenon.
Even sports economists are paying attention to Clark, a prominent specialist who has been dubbed a lightning rod for women's basketball, and she is not mistaken. In terms of transforming the popularity of the game, Clark's impact has grown so enormous that some are comparing her to Michael Jordan. Are you prepared for this? Let's crunch some numbers. According to Laval forecasts, professional women's basketball as a whole will see its combined value skyrocket by $1.6 billion in just the next 3 years. Yes, that's billion with a B. Clark's rookie season is estimated to have brought in an incredible $36 million for Indianapolis alone. That's the kind of impact that gets team owners and city leaders buzzing.
I'm going to look at this the way I did with Michael Jordan. Now, she's not the Michael Jordan of her sport as far as athleticism, playing, dominating. But A'ja Wilson is the best player in the game. Not even a debate. But I'm talking about value now. Value to a franchise, value to a league, getting your team in the playoffs. They had the number 1 pick. They were the worst team last year. And there is value that I can attach to that.
What does all of this mean, then? Beyond simply being a basketball player, Caitlin Clark is a phenomenon who is changing the game both on and off the court, attracting a huge following, and having a big economic impact. Her impact beyond the stat sheet, demonstrating that she is the superstar the WNBA has been waiting for to change the league's course.
I'm talking about value. Michael Jordan was the most valuable player every single year because of what he meant to his team and what he meant to the league. And, oh, by the way, winning 6 titles. Can't argue with that. Caitlin Clark may not win titles. Las Vegas is still a great team. But the fact that she is doing what she's doing and at a very high level, it's now commonplace where she'll go for 26 and 12. I mean, those are great numbers for any player, no matter how long you've been in the league.
Although it may appear that Caitlin Clark's path to all of these awards was an inevitable victory, the truth is much more nuanced. For example, keep in mind Angel Reese, the other rookie who had the basketball world in a frenzy. The media framed their alleged rivalry as the ultimate showdown, a battle for the ages that had fans glued to every game. But how close was this competition really?
Angel Reese, there's nothing that she does where you go, did you see her? Other than she plays really, really hard, and I liken her game to Moses Malone. Moses Malone was relentless. So it's not that I don't appreciate who she is or how she plays. There is no one like Caitlin Clark. In the history of the WNBA,
the doctor was unable to avoid comparing her to Clark Crafting. As the season progressed, some started to wonder if the rivalry was as close as it appeared, if this battle was real, or if it was driven more by hype than reality. This story of 2 young stars locked in a season-long duel felt like the ideal setting for a dramatic climax, as if these 2 athletes were destined to compete throughout the year.
Saying Angel Reese is better than Caitlin Clark is saying Rodman was better than Michael Jordan, or Ben Wallace was better than Kobe, or even Andre Drummond was better than LeBron. And I shouldn't have to point out that Angel Reese is actually a poor defender.
When Caitlin Clark was chosen Rookie of the Year and First Team All-WNBA, the answer became abundantly evident. This wasn't just a victory, it was a resounding declaration that dispelled the notion of a close contest in the Northeast. Reese was obviously upset and made no effort to hide it. She publicly disagreed with the decision, claiming that Clark wasn't worthy of the honor. Her outburst caused even more drama, dividing fans and igniting heated online debates. However, was Reese's annoyance purely emotional, or was there something more going on?
But her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark. Because she wins the national title, first thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal with Caitlin Clark. Then she's played off of that.
This is the overall picture. Clark has a natural desire to be the greatest and perform at the highest level, going beyond the game without the need for rivalries. She is not only vying for accolades. Her talent is not just remarkable, it was revolutionary, bringing women's basketball to a new level of prominence. This is about more than just a player. It's about uplifting the sport as a whole and motivating supporters everywhere.
I thought scoring, yes, she's the all-time greatest scorer in the history of college basketball, men's or women's, but passing like this? I'm talking about gifted LeBron-esque bounce passing. I'm talking about gifted LeBron-esque two-handed, full court, touchdown pass kind of passing. The likes of which I don't see in the WNBA.
Even if it may not be due to her skill, Reese is still attracting attention to women's basketball, which is still beneficial. When was the last time 2 WNBA rookies created as much buzz, one for Grace's abilities and the other for her other endeavors? The use of social media filled with debates, highlights, and games with record-breaking crowds, Clark and Reese Drew are more than simply athletes. They are movement catalysts who have invigorated the league and elevated women's basketball to a national conversation subject.
That skinny white girl was the best thing that ever happened to the WNBA. She's already the most exciting and entertaining player in the league, the entire league, the one you can't take your eyes off of.
However, Clark's worldwide accolades carry significance that extends well beyond her individual accomplishments. They signal a sea change for the WNBA. Although not everyone in the WNBA community is thrilled about Clark's attention, some veterans and former legends have voiced concerns that the intense focus on one player could overshadow other talented athletes. Clark is not just breaking records, she is redefining what's possible. Her ability to attract fans, generate excitement, and command attention has been nothing short of extraordinary. People are calling her a transformative figure who has the ability to change the entire league.
Asia Wilson is her name. Quote, "It doesn't matter what we all do as black women, we're still going to be swept underneath."
So why the pushback? For some, it's about fairness. They feel that other players who have made major contributions to the league aren't receiving the credit they merit. Others are concerned that the publicity surrounding Clark may raise irrational expectations or divert attention from the teamwork that makes basketball so unique. But here's the twist. All of this discussion and controversy may really be beneficial for women's basketball since it is igniting interest, attracting new followers, and bringing the WNBA more attention than ever before.
Now you're going to cut down 22-year-old Caitlin Clark, who has single-handedly changed the game, brought in millions of other young fans, old fans. How about the ratings in college basketball for her? Record ratings. And now in her very short WNBA career, shattering records. Isn't that a win for everybody?
This goes beyond Clark and considers the wider ramifications for the sport. Her success has rekindled conversations about how the NBA markets its players and expands its reputation. Some contend that the league should market each of its stars more effectively. Not only is Clark the newest star, but there's no doubting that her presence has sparked change and given women's basketball new life and enthusiasm.
Like, what are we doing and why? Please stop. Let's celebrate Caitlin Clark, celebrate her greatness, celebrate her courage to keep pushing through.
All these records weren't merely won by Clark. She lifted the bar for women's basketball, motivating the upcoming generation of players and spectators alike. She broke records, redefined expectations, and established a new standard for what a season could look like. Clark has demonstrated that elite skill and competition can captivate the public and create moments that go well beyond the actual games. She has elevated the WNBA to a new level of prominence, demonstrating that women's basketball is just as exciting and captivating as men's, and she is only just getting started.
Caitlin Clark, you go, girl. Don't listen to these people. Keep going strong. Most of us are normal and have your back.
What's next for the NBA in the Caitlin Clark era? One thing is certain, the ball's in her court and the way she plays will set a new standard for women's basketball for years to come. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Clark and Reese's so-called rivalry has already done so much to bring attention to the league, but it feels like this is only the beginning. The next time they face off, keep in mind that this is about progress, growth, and the future of the sport, not just about competition.